A contentious town hall meeting by former President Donald Trump.
It was his first forum since declaring candidacy for the 2024 election. KTLA's Aaron Myers in our news center with the latest. Aaron, good morning.
Good morning to both of you. Former President Donald Trump returned to CNN for the first time since 2016. The town hall was hosted by CNN's Caitlin Collins in New Hampshire and lasted for more than an hour. According to CNN, the former president's leads in early polling are some of the strongest for a non-incumbent in the modern presidential primary era. This is the first time in years the president has faced prolonged questioning outside of conservative media outlets. His campaign said he appeared on the network to step out of his GOP comfort zone as he begins to focus on the 2024 election. At the beginning of the town hall, Collins asked President Trump why he should be elected again. The president quickly repeated falsehoods about the 2020 election, calling it a rigged election and a shame. The former president still not conceding to defeat.
Unless you're a very stupid person, you see what happens. It was a rigged election, and it's a shame that we had to go through it. It's very bad for our country. All over the world, they looked at it.
When it comes to accepting the 2024 election results, he said he would if it's an honest election. The town hall came a day after a New York jury found him liable of sexually abusing columnist E. Jean Carroll nearly 30 years ago. During the town hall, President Trump insisted he didn't know Carroll and never met her and said he had no idea who she is, though at least one picture has been found of the two together. He also touched on the war between Russia and Ukraine, repeating his praise for President Vladimir Putin. President Trump claimed that Putin would not have invaded Ukraine if he was still president, but did not answer when he asked about who he wanted to win the war.
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying. Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying. I'll have that done in 24 hours. I'll have it done.
And when it came to the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade, the president said it was a great victory and took credit for appointing 3 of the justices who joined with the majority ruling, though he would not answer questions on if he would sign a federal abortion ban into law.
Very complex issue for the country. You have people on both sides of an issue, but we are now in a very strong position. Pro-life people are in a strong position to make a deal that's going to be good and going to be satisfactory for them.
As for the January 6th insurrection, Trump was asked if he regretted his actions that day. As of now, more than 1,000 people have been charged and more than 600 convicted. The former president said if elected again, he may pardon many of those that were convicted. In the next hour, we will have more on what was said during the town hall, including what the former president said about classified documents and the economy. I'll send it back to you both in the studio.